What we have here is a circuit that's going to be used as a temperature controller for a small electric oven. It's based on a comparator chip and a potentiometer and an RTD, resistive temperature device sensor, and we're using an LED to show the status of what will eventually be the heating element in the oven. The way it works is pretty straightforward. We've got a potentiometer here that is connected between our DC power supply terminals. It's providing a set point. Then we have our resistive thermal detector over here, which is a variable resistance, variable with temperature. As the oven heats up, its resistance rises and creates a rising voltage signal at the inverting input of the comparator. If the temperature sensor's voltage exceeds the set point voltage, the comparator's output swings low and it turns the heating element off. If the temperature gets below our set point, this voltage will be less than this, the comparator's output goes high and turns on the heating element. Now eventually this will not be an LED, as I mentioned. This is going to go to a solid state relay, which is going to turn on an octo-triac, sending 120 volt AC power to the heating element. But for right now, we're simply using that LED to demonstrate the status of the output. So if I grab onto this RTD and heat it up with my hand, what's going to happen is eventually the voltage across that RTD sensor is going to rise higher than the voltage that's being dialed up by our potentiometer there, and you'll see the LED turn off. This takes a little bit of time because my hand is not much warmer than ambient temperature, and this RTD has a bit of mass to it. So I'll simply keep the video camera trained on the LED, and pretty soon we'll see it turn off. There we go. And now if I let go of the sensor, it's going to slowly cool back down to ambient temperature. And as it cools back down, the voltage across it will drop down below the voltage dialed up by the set point potentiometer. Our comparator output will swing high and the LED will turn back on, which again will signify the status of the heating element when this is installed in the oven. There we go. So now the heating element's turned back on and it's going to heat back up again. So a very simple temperature control circuit using a single comparator, a potentiometer, an RTD hooked up in a bridge format, and eventually a solid state relay on the output of the comparator that's going to control the power to the heating element.